Hi everyone, it's Peter Haynes here, creator, writer, director of AFK. This is a video I've had planned for a little while now, about 5 years in fact, that I've wanted to make about my experiences making our first season. I particularly wanted to talk about something that we did a lot while shooting that, which is what I like to call jigsaw filmmaking. And I'm going to explain that a little further through this video. Now be warned, this will drastically change the way you look at some of these scenes on rewatching Season 1 of AFK, so you have been warned. Now, in an ideal world, you have all the cast you need on any given day of shooting, but as we know, low-budget filmmaking isn't an ideal world, and AFK has quite a large cast. There were plenty of times that some of the actors we needed weren't available when we needed to shoot a scene because they have lives and other jobs. So we got quite good at strategically shooting what we needed when we did have them, and then piecing the scenes together in the edit, hence jigsaw filmmaking. Now this can be quite seamless if done well, and it can be quite obvious if done badly. But I learned that it can be greatly improved by employing what I came to call a linking element. Let me show you what I mean. This scene from episode 3 came very early on in the shoot. In fact, the shots of Jack and Mabel were filmed way back at the same time as we shot the pilot. Literally months later, after getting funding for the full season, we came back to the same location and we filmed the reverse angle on cue, and Callum, who plays Jack, wasn't there. What helped to sell the idea that the scene was filmed at the same time was keeping Mabel right in the middle of the shot, between Jack and Q, so that even though Jack and Q never actually appear in the frame together, they still feel linked, and that linking element is Mabel.
Don't make me go back out there.
Of course, breaking up the scenes like this does introduce some issues, like the fact that Jack managed to get a haircut in between shots in this scene. The reason we couldn't get Ravi on set at the same time as Callum and Mia initially was that his ears weren't ready yet, although we did manage to get around that on another day by pretending it was cold and wrapping a scarf around his head. Here's another example of a linking element in the scene where Jack's armor is stolen. The bandits were filmed on a separate pickup day, but we got a shot of Q's bow arm, not hurled by Mia, in the foreground as the bandits escape. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of crossing the line of action on one of the days and had to flip the shot of the bow, which is why her bow hand changes between shots. Luckily it was such a quick sequence I don't think anyone really noticed, but having that bow come into the same frame as the bandits really helps to sell the idea that it's one continuous scene and not shot weeks apart.
Why are we not shooting them? Oh my god, why did you—
I am not killing someone just to save your armor!
Another big sequence that had to be shot over 2 separate days was the group reuniting. On one day we had Q, Jack, Mabel, Veruga and Stephen, but we didn't have Brendan. On another day we had Stephen, Brendan and Jack, but not the others. So in the case of this scene, the linking elements were Jack and Stephen, who appeared in shots with both to make it seem like they were all in the same place at the same time.
How do you like them apples?
Sometimes when actors are unavailable or it doesn't make sense to drag them out to set for just one shot, you have to get really creative. This reverse shot of Veruga leaning out from behind a tree is actually Wei Ling, who plays Amy. She's wearing the hood, one shoulder of the costume and one ear. We then cut to a shot of Dallas, filmed on a separate day. In another example, we knew we had Stephen and Brendan for just one day of the big fight scene, which was shot across 2 days. So we strategically planned which shots they would feature in to get on the first day, and on the second day, when they would only appear in the background, 2 completely different people wore their costumes. Other times, you reschedule shots for dramatic reasons. We were running out of time on the second day of the big fight, so we made the decision to shoot Mia and Vanya's close-ups on a separate day in a totally different location. That way we could take our time with the performances of this important moment.
Do it.
Another jigsaw scene. Vanya, Veruga's appearance, and Stephen and Brendan escaping were shot on 3 separate days in 3 separate locations. The linking element here is the chaos of the crowd. If it was a low angle or a close-up and we were running out of time, it would be one of the first things to be rescheduled. The wide shot, close-up of Veruga and close-up of Q were once again 3 separate locations on 3 separate days. The shot of Mia was actually filmed in my back garden with my fingers painted green standing in for Veruga. Fun fact, this was actually the very last shot filmed for AFK Season 1. Another fun fact, Our behind-the-scenes camera op was actually Adam from Viva La Dirt League.
Davey, no! Brendan!
Who also took a foam rock to the face for the cause. Nice shoes, Adam. Although this scene looks simple, it's actually one of my favourite Jigsaw scenes in the series. Once again, 3 locations. A park in Auckland for the wall, a building about 40 minutes out of town for the tavern, and my dad's back garden for this pickup shop.
You look like a fat hobo Jesus.
JJ explains.
Gray couldn't make it, so Peter had to build like a makeshift wall.
You're helping out with lighting now as well.
That's why we're doing it, in the back of Peter's dad's house.
As you can see, the wall section is tiny, and also being held up by Ravi. I think the cast were a bit dubious as we were filming this, but there it is. It's all we needed. Mia is the main linking element here, as she appears on both angles, although we did manage to get another wider shot at the park which included JJ as well. The final element was me, wearing Brendan's costume to really link everyone together. It's actually amazing what you can get away with in Jigsaw filmmaking, and we learned another important fact that day.
JJ Fong smells like beans.
Some more fun facts. This was only one of 2 days in a 27-day shoot where all the actors were in the same room at the same time. Going through the footage for this video, I rediscovered the day where our boom pole was a cardboard tube with the shotgun mic literally taped to it. This short scene was supposed to be shot in the evening to simulate morning light, but we missed our time, so we ended up just blasting all our lights and shooting it in near darkness. This was another day where the actors weren't on set at the same time, and this was a particularly tough one for Callum because he was delivering his big impassioned speech to a stand-in. He did a great job though, like the high-level bard he is. The reverse angles on Mia, Dallas and Ravi were shot on a night where it was as cold, windy and miserable as it got in that location, but I guess it suited the scene.
What is wrong with your face?
What do you mean? It's just my beard.
Yeah, but why is it growing so fast?
Ray's beard growing gag came about because he had to be clean-shaven for another paid acting job. Ironically, towards the end of the shoot, Callum had to grow a beard for a job.
If I'm going out like a rogue.
Luckily we knew about this well in advance, and that's why Callum wears a face mask for the entirety of the final battle.
Has anybody seen Amy?
Hey, you're not Jess!
No, I'm not.
The Jigsaw scenes continued right to the end of the shoot. JJ was unable to make it out to the beach with the rest of the cast, so all her shots were done in Auckland, with our sound op Jenny standing in for her at the beach. It seemed kind of fitting that even the final scene of the film was jigsawed together.
It's gonna be a long road ahead.
So thanks for watching this video on the convoluted making of AFK Season 1, which you can watch in its entirety on the link below. Please like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content in the near future.